Quiet in the studio. That means you, Steve.
Ooh, here we go. It's hard work.
Telling me.
Let's get some music on here. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ab Fab, a.k.a. Jonathan Starkey, your fabulous digital host of this digital pub called Cheshire Matters.
Ooh, I love me.
I love me. Yeah, I love
again.
me. You'd be jealous if I said I love you, because you love yourself more. Okay,
Well,
here we go.
We have got our doubts about you, to be quite honest.
Well, we definitely know that the Raven is in the house, so we don't need to introduce him. And we have with us our Scottish correspondent, Mr. Graham Cuttle, a.k.a. The Cutter. Say hello, sir.
Hey!
Good evening, guys. It's a pleasure to be back on, and good evening to all my friends down in Cheshire.
Indeed, indeed. And we have that man, the man with all the facts, Mark Hartley, a.k.a. Statsman. Say hello, sir.
Yo.
Yo.
Well, I'll say greetings to the cutter and our lovely listeners, all the rest of you.
Yo. Is that like yo-ho-ho?
Yo-ho-ho.
Oh. Okay,
I fell out with Father Christmas.
Oh, you fell out with Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here is the Father Christmas lookalike without the beard and without the red cap. It is the Gazelle, a.k.a. Trevor Nicholls. Say hello, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, Graham, one of our greatest friends from north of the Bud.
Hey, and Graham, you've got to meet some of our some of our southern reporters who are part of the Blade Runners. Tell you want to hear what's going on down there with you,
Excellent. Les? I fully back those.
Oh, they're doing a great job. Absolutely great job. I'm really, really happy. And it's annoying Khan intensely. He's losing an awful lot of money. And I mean a lot of money.
No. We're losing an awful lot of money.
No, the South are losing a lot of money. Because remember now, Levelling Up didn't do anything for us. Nothing whatsoever.
So the foreigners are losing money.
And as Andrew Neil said, there was not one metric that any Conservative MP could actually come up with to demonstrate that they've been actually involved in levelling up. Nothing at all. So the North...
Excuse me, 1 second. I haven't said good evening to everybody yet.
Oh, but we didn't need you because you interrupted and you already knew and everybody knows that you were on and you're rude. Okay.
I don't care. Listen here, Pipsqueak. I'm going to do my bit. You wind your neck in. So I'm going to say good evening to all our listeners. A special welcome to Graham. And you just do everything proper for once. Wind your neck in. Stop cutting people off. And just behave yourself.
What was that, Steve? You said what? Stop what?
And your techie stuff is
off.
Oh, right, okay. I'll mark that one off.
That's three. Three left so far.
Oh, that's three already.
Oh. Okay, right, all right, okay. First in the roundup. Now, this is going to be an extended roundup in which we're going to discuss quite a few things that have been going on. Because there was not one thing that really stood out for Statsman, was there, Stats?
There's just lots of things, isn't there?
Oh, there's just a ton of them. Okay. What about the London Council? Are you interrupting again?
Are you interrupting again? It's a total mess. Everybody else is jumping in, including you. You want to cut yourself off. God's sake, the man's
Here we go.
tired. He's the sort of bloke you invite to a party and ask to wash up all night.
I just cut myself off. There you go. See, I've done it.
Come on, hurry up.
Right. U-turn for London Council that cancelled lighting Hanukkah candles. Yeah?
The what?
The London Council that was slammed by the Jewish groups after it cancelled lighting Hanukkah candles over fears it would inflame tensions between Israel and Palestine supporters.
Was that a pun then when you said inflame?
Yeah.
May I ask how that would inflame them?
I'm fed up with this attitude towards the Jewish community in this country. I'm getting really bothered by it, to be honest with you.
Well,
of lessons not being learned from history.
Well, indeed, it was Havering Council. They backtracked on this decision. Following a meeting between council leaders and Jewish groups yesterday, the council announced that it now intends to proceed with the permanent installation of the menorah as originally planned.
I've never seen that done anywhere. Is this a new thing, or is it just...
Well, to be honest with you, it's a big Jewish area. You know, so the
I've
East
seen
London.
I've seen it outside synagogues and stuff like that, but I've never actually seen it in sort of a town centre, for want of a better word.
Well, it's like switching on the Christmas lights in Warrington around the tree with the bin bags.
Oh, yeah. Very funny, that, isn't it? Very funny.
You know? Well, in response to the initial decision to cancel the menorah's installation to mark the upcoming Jewish festival, which is what it's all about, the London Jewish Forum accused Havering Council of letting anti-Semites dictate council policy. So there you go. Now, over to Stats. Go ahead, Stats.
I don't know why. I'm just trying to figure out who these anti-Semites are. So it's a Jewish area. So I'm guessing it's not the Jewish who've got a problem with their lights. I wonder who that could be. Who's always offended about everything? I'll let the listeners decide, eh?
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is, I mean, if you think about it, Havering Council were letting themselves in for a massive issue by doing something like that. Massive issue. And especially at this time. I mean, to do something like that and say, no, we're not going to let any Jewish people celebrate, you know, a particular festival or, you know, a certain time in their calendar right now is the wrong thing to do. It's a bit like...
You just wonder if Israel was actually Christian, right? And it was the Christians that were invading Gaza. Would they ban lighting Christmas trees?
Maybe. Any other comments on that? Stevie, you got to say something, or are you anti-Semite? Or
No, I'm a big supporter of the Jewish community.
Thank you. I just wanted to get that clear.
To be quite frank, I am actually bothered by this slowly increasing attitude of the wrong kind towards the Jewish community in this country. It really, really bothers me, to be quite frank. Not just in this country either, by the way. I saw some interesting statistics on demographic change in the Middle East to do with the Jewish community, which I think we should cover at a later date. So I won't go into that now.
Okay, all right. Trevor is scribbling copiously there. Any notes, any comments on that, Mr. Gazelle?
No.
Okay, well, then we'll move on then. Here we go. Germany, we have a problem. Or I should say, we have a problem. Mass market tabloid that welcomed Angela Merkel's decision to let in 1 million migrants sounds a startling warning. Germany, we have a problem. Anybody have a guess about why they've got a problem? Go ahead, Stats.
I'm going to hazard a guess and say a certain someone's let a few too many people in their country who don't really like their way of life.
Correct. I mean,
I'm a genius.
They let in 1.1 million migrants in 2015, and it hasn't...
That they know of.
That they know of, and it hasn't gone well.
There's a lot of problems in Germany that never get reported.
Indeed.
This might...
I've got a couple of German friends, and I was talking to them recently, and they're so unhappy. It's unbelievable, and I think the whole of Germany is unhappy about the present situation, just like we are.
Yep.
But the matter of fact is, they've got a war going on their doorstep as well, which doesn't help matters. So,
well, Der Bild is Germany's best-selling tabloid, and they sell a lot of newspapers, and with them coming on and saying, we have a problem. That's like everybody turning around and going, Houston, we have a problem. I mean, it's massive. And has anybody seen the way that the German soldiers go in against the migrants now? They are tough. We need a police force like that. We need them to be able to go in and say, no chance. I mean, from what I've seen from some of the videos, any of the migrants that were actually kicking off with them, they got back double and triple what they were actually threatening to give out. I mean, the police just took them and they kicked the living daylights out of them.
Yeah, London with no place.
Hey, wait, one voice at a time. Cut it. And again, you two get a room. If you're going to do things at the same time, get a room. Right? As the Cutter first. Go on, Cutter.
I bet there's no inquiries afterwards once the German police have kicked the migrants into touch. There'll be no inquiries to, he assaulted me and all the rest of it. It'll be accepted and that's it.
You reckon?
Whereas over here, the police will probably be taken to court if they've done something like that.
The police bend over backwards for them over here. There'll be no danger of them going to court.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I put out a tweet, and it was yesterday. And I can tell you now, within a space of a couple of hours, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I turned around and said, the police in this country are useless.
That's an understatement, isn't it?
They are a joke. Time for people to seek an alternative and opt out of paying for inefficient police forces and pay for alternatives. And within a couple of hours, it went up to 31K, views straight away, and lots of likes. It begs the question, can we opt out of policing in this country and buy our own for a county?
In your opinion, Jonathan, what chance went wrong with the police in this country? Is it because of the woke, or is it because of various different things? Is it because nobody respects the police force anymore and they just stick two fingers up at it?
I would say it's a combination of all of those things, but the biggest problem with the police right now is that it has become politicized. And it's not doing its job properly, and it turns a blind eye to so many things. And I can see the Gazelle wanting to grab in here, and there's two fingers, and there's a middle finger coming up there. All right, you've got one thing to say. Is that right, sir? Go ahead.
That's right, yeah. So we've got, if you see the police in France,
yep,
they go into them and they knock them left, right, and centre like a load of bowling pins.
Yep.
You look at them in Germany, they go in there and they knock them left, right, and centre like a load of bowling pins. And they climb statues over there in London and they say, excuse me, could you come down, please?
Yeah, can you come down, or we'll ask you to come down again?
Yeah, can we have a selfie before you go?
The German police remove eco-protesters who've glued their hands to the road. They just yank them off there.
I like the way that they do business over there, because quite simply, they are. I don't know whether very many people know this, but there were German companies running a council in Yorkshire and West Riding. I'm pretty certain of it. So why can't we opt out of UK police forces and purchase a police force from another country? I want a police force from Russia, really. I want to give them business. Simple as that. Go ahead, Mark.
Do you know, they are pathetic. You got all these, as you said, all these forces across Europe coming down hard, while ours are having pictures with jihadis and then putting pictures on Twitter saying, please, can you help us solve crime? So they're just another, like, you do your own banking and you scan your own shopping and you read your own meters. This is just another one where we're doing their jobs for them. And where were they at the time? It's pathetic.
It's
honestly
bad news.
Training's poor. The quality of the police is absolutely lame. They can't arrest anyone or chase anyone anymore who resists. As you said, the woke, it's just unbelievable. Rising crime. They are just useless.
The nearest we've got to German and French police over here is Merseyside police. If they went private, I'm not kidding you, I would actually pay a subscription for them to police around here, because they do not muck around. They get, especially on a Saturday night.
Just get involved with gangsters.
The last time I was down, Jonathan, that was years and years and years ago, and I was talking to one of your pals who's on the police force, and he was telling me about the special van they had with no cameras on it. And they basically, if there was somebody misbehaving, they got the special van and put them in the back of the special van to take them to the police station. By the time they got there, they were black and blue.
Black and blue? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. That's if he's conscious. Get him up to the desk. What's your name? Well, you shouldn't have been out messing about on a Saturday night. Don't mess with the Merseyside police. We like them. All right, okay, here's another one for you. What about this? I need bleeps for this. This is a story from the Mail Online. Okay, Mark, you've been in that van. Did you bump your head on the place where the camera should have been?
Yeah, that's the one.
We invite you to step into the van, Mark. All right, okay. What about the Greek newspaper who launches a vile, expletive-laden attack on Rishi Sunak amid the Elgin Marbles row, as PM says Athens will have to accept British Museum owns the artefacts for George Osborne's loan plan to happen. And this is by Greg Heffer, political correspondent for the Mail Online. And what the Greek newspaper said, because apparently Rishi ducked out of a meeting with the Greek PM, and they put on the front of it, F you, bastard.
He wouldn't have to duck very far, would he?
But that's what they put on the F you, bastard. I mean, you know, you say that about a British Prime Minister. What's our retort going to be? Mine would be, well, you're never going to get the Elgin Marbles that way.
What you make of Prince Charles wearing the Greek tie?
Oh, yes. Saw that.
King Charles, I should say. Sorry, King. I'm still not used to him being the king.
Yep. And he had a finger from one of those Greek marbles in his pocket, and he gave that back to them. Okay.
Well,
Nobody would miss it.
You want me to take him back? Yeah, I'll take him back for him gladly.
Well, at least, I think it was a finger. I'm not sure.
I've actually seen them. They're nothing special, by the way.
I know. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm going to be brutally honest here. I don't really care. This country's falling apart and they're all arguing about marbles.
Yeah.
But wait till certain someone wants their shards of the original Quran back, then we've got problems.
Oh. Tell you, what is it? What is it?
Move along.
What is it about that religion that thinks it trumps everything and anything and everything in this country?
Because that's what the book says.
Because they're right, Jonathan. They're right.
Well, no. Anyway.
Someone made it up and wrote it in a book, so it's true.
Well, somebody called me disgustingly racist for bringing that out. Until somebody pointed out to him that Islam is not a race. You know, they brought that up. But anyway, I kind of killed that argument, but there you go. Anyway, that's the kind of argument you'd like to throw off the top of a roof. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why you're saying that.
Anyway, we're moving on from marbles.
Yeah, moving on from marvels. Right, is this a comfort or the creepiest idea you've ever heard? AI can take your dead loved one's social media posts, turn them into a hologram, and you can chat to them in the kitchen.
A step too far, in my opinion.
What do you think?
The dead are dead. Leave them dead.
Well, I mean, just think about it. You know, like sort of, if you get the wife removed, you could just switch her on and switch her off.
The thought of you being around forever and a day is
just what?
So bad enough.
I'm telling you, I'd be there to just saying, so what was that, Steve? Steve, will you tell me a nighttime story, please?
Oh, God, he's weird at times. He really is disturbingly weird.
Took me in.
Hey, Graham, when we went up to Scotland and we stayed in one of the bed and breakfasts up there, he was in another room, and I went on the door like this. I literally like sort of 2:00 in the morning, and I went, Steve, will you
I can see Steve hiding his face there.
Will you tell me a bedtime story?
Did you tell him a story, Steve?
No, he blockaded his door.
So every lock was
What?
on that.
That's a beep. That's a bleep that I've got to put on. I've got to do that in post, you bastard.
Listen, I would honestly give anybody a warning who's going anywhere with him to have extra locks in your bag to take with you and a screwdriver to put them on the door.
Are we nearly there yet? Are we nearly there yet?
Oh, Scott, it's just like...
But can you imagine? Can you imagine having an AI version? I mean, it's been in the movies and all, you know, stuff like that. You know, see the sci-fi.
Oh God, no.
No, but I would quite like that. You know, I would like to sit down and talk to Einstein.
Would you like to sit down and talk to yourself?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I do that every day in the mirror.
Graham, he's in love with himself.
I know that, Steve, only too well.
Is your hair okay? Oh yeah, it's fine. I've got it sorted. Everything's okay. Yeah, you're looking a bit trim today, Mr. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Starkey.
But then there could be three of you, the mirror and the AI.
Oh, what? That would just be too much. That would be heaven on earth.
Trevor, I hope he doesn't have to go 10 weeks without his bins being emptied. Imagine the amount of tins of hairspray stacked up.
Right, what about this one? ITV's flagship winter biopic tracking Gary Grant's rise from a poverty-stricken childhood to Hollywood stardom has deafening music but barely audible dialogue. Now, how many films have you been to see where the dialogue is drowned out by the music?
None.
Reminds me of podcasts. Anyway.
Any in particular?
Well, this one, I mean, there are lots of films that I've been to see, and I thought they could have left the dialogue, a little bit up on the fader, because people, sometimes it gets drowned out. They don't realize that the frequencies of the music actually cloud, and especially with all the different ways that music can come across now, with Dolby and all the rest of those things, surround sound, it drowns out the dialogue, so they can't actually hear it.
Well, we would kind of expect these people making films to know what they're doing with sound and vision.
Doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen.
Sit in a cinema and listen to it.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. It's a proof listen.
All right.
It's just simple, isn't it?
Well, when they're listening in studios that basically will give you the clarity, because listening in the studio and then listening in real world situations like a cinema are two different things, and they literally should test it out in a cinema first before they actually go ahead with the mix.
So how much are we charging the film industry for this rather basic common sense advice?
10 million quid.
Fantastic. Send them the bill.
And that will help us with all the advertising needs of Cheshire Matters Political. And we will be going out, and I will be traveling the world on a yacht, and you guys will be in a hut drinking tea, saying, why aren't we over there? How come you've got a boat? How come you've got a plane? I don't know how this happened. I'm sorry, guys.
I've actually got a boat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've heard about your boat, sir. Go on, Stats, man.
Go on. You go and hang around with yourself with your AI on your boat, and we'll carry on with the podcast.
That's right. That's it. That's the way of it. What about this?
There's money to be made. GB News, you could make a fortune on that programme.
Oh.
Syncing all the lips with the music, with the voices.
Anyway, what about this? Now, this should get the cutter's blood boiling. And this is another headline. And again, this is from the Mail. The others, some of the others are different. But a shameful, appalling betrayal. The SNP promised, get that, there's where the joke starts. The SNP promised that vital upgrades to Scotland's most dangerous road would be completed by 2025. But at this rate, it will take 100 years. And that most dangerous road is the A9 Perth to Inverness route.
I've travelled many times, Jonathan. It's one of the most dodgiest roads on the planet. I'm surprised more people don't actually get killed on it. And do you know why it's been delayed so much?
Go ahead.
Patrick Harvey and his cohorts.
Who?
Patrick Harvey.
Patrick Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
that hate motorists and hate everything to do with motoring.
Well, okay, it's going to take over 100 years to go get it sorted out. Well, I think it would take 100 years to actually get anything sorted out in Scotland until you get rid of the SNP.
Also, and there was Humza away at the COP28, whatever it is, and wherever it is, promising £10 million into some fund. The country's on its knees from so much debt and all the rest of it, and he's giving £10 million away. I think it's about time that we stop giving all this money to foreign countries and concentrated in our own country for a change.
All they're doing is just creating a great impression for themselves when they come out of office in order to be picked up on something else. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, just going to say, at one time, sort of, it was considered to be treason assisting your enemies. Now it's called foreign aid. And that's how I look at it, yeah.
Any further comments on that? Statsman?
Do you know, I'd love the life where the priorities were weather and marbles, but we've actually got serious stuff going on. So, I mean, tell the Green Party to get stuffed, Gray. Fix the road.
Fix the road. Save
the road.
Well, here's one that's going to get...
Cars aren't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. As much as Patrick Harvey and all the rest of them wants to go back onto horse and carts and horses and public transport, ain't going to happen.
Well, then we'll all become Amish.
I'll become
Amish. We'll become that. And we'll see Steve in his little bonnet.
The Amish are actually very healthy people, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are. They don't. I saw some reports recently. They don't have, by and large, as a community, they don't take vaccines at all. And they found that these communities virtually have no autism, ADHD, or anything else along those lines. There's been studies done on this, and allegedly these reports are not being made public.
Okay, go ahead, Cutter.
I think that's a good point, because the Amish are very family orientated and very helpful amongst their own community.
Yeah.
So they're brought up from a young age to communicate with each other and all the rest of it by building barns, and 50 of their neighbours appear and there's a barn up in a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there is something in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't even know who our neighbours are anymore. It's great.
No,
isn't it?
that's the truth.
I live in a block of 16 flats, and I don't know any of their names.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is that?
That just says it. Yeah. That just says it. You know, I mean, I don't even know Steve's second name.
I know his first name, Techno.
Yeah.
Techno Steve.
Knob twiddler. What about this?
Stop.
Stop. There's an impression of Steve. No, stop.
Is it still Monday? How long is this roundup going on? It's like a
Christmas
4-hour
Eve.
film.
Yes.
This roundup. Oh, go on. Go on, your next one then. Go on, hurry up.
You bet. You can tell he's going, Steve, we love
It's
you.
quick roundup. It's like an epilogue.
It's not a quick roundup. It's an extended roundup. Okay? Have you not been listening? Go get the cows in. Go on, get the cows in. Roundup.
I'm nearly in retirement here.
Nearly £600,000 of taxpayers' money has been spent on asking civil servants how they feel about the office and working from home.
What?
Yeah, seriously, Whitehall has paid nearly $600,000 asking staff, do they like working from home?
So, I listened to the podcast last week, and you were saying that councils and civil servants are actually getting their heating bills paid.
Correct.
Now, what's their reply going to be? Great.
Well, that's a job to go for. We're going to go for a job like that.
Yeah, I'm giving a bit of a shout out mid podcast.
Oh, okay. We know the reason why. Okay, porridge face.
Go on, then.
Oats. Come on, speak up. I said I've not muted you.
He's muted himself.
He's muted himself.
Does that mean I can take one off my tally?
Yeah, you take one
I've
off.
only got one left.
Because he muted himself.
2 left.
Okay. Well, what about this?
Out yours.
This is going to get him angry. Channel migrants in taxpayer-funded hotels can earn up to £1,500 a month. Because they're all doing the nice sort of, Uber Eats or whatever it is.
Well, I don't order anything through any of those things delivered on bikes and all that business. I like to know what's happened to my food. I know it's going to be delivered properly by somebody employed properly, in my view, and I don't buy into all this anyway, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
Did anyone see the video of the migrant throwing all the money around his room?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That
was way more. He got way more than delivering pizzas. So I wonder where he's getting his money from. He's probably the NHS. He's probably a surgeon, isn't he? Or a consultant.
You're delivering drugs, Mark, I would say.
No, surely not.
Mm-hmm.
Not our precious asylum seekers.
Well, Trevor, go ahead.
Just to clarify that, what's been happening is that the people that are legal, that are doing the Uber deliveries, etc., they have got work permits. What they're doing is they're renting their rounds off, so they're subcontracting. So they are legally entitled to deliver, but they're selling them to illegal immigrants for £70 a week.
Yeah.
And the illegal immigrants are earning around about £1,500 a month doing the Uber Eat deliveries, etc. And they pay £70 a week for a subcontract.
Oh.
Oh, on the plus side, we are letting some entrepreneurs in then, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and on the back of that, is the Rwanda plan over?
Oh, I hope so.
According
Was
to
it really a plan and did it work?
Did it start? How can it be over if it's not started?
Well, according to
anyone
Dan
know-
Hodges,
Do you
it's
know
over.
how much the Rwanda plan cost? Mark, do you know how much the Rwanda plan cost?
Whatever it was too much, mate.
It's 100 odd million, wasn't it, Graham?
I think it was more than that.
120
Yeah, it was-
million it was.
Well, you don't know. Well, it was 130 million plus another 15 million this week.
That's right.
Yeah, I thought it was about 150, 160.
Yeah, it's absolute chicken feed.
The real
We've got it
figure's
in
higher.
In Warrington, we got that for about 145 million.
Don't. I mean, Trevor's big beef is that the people that got Warrington into the problem where it's like giving people, every man, woman, and child, about £12,000 debt each. They've now left office with no liability
away.
whatsoever.
Walked away into the sunset.
Yep, no liability whatsoever.
Are they all living in the Bahamas now?
Well,
Oh.
who knows? Well, I actually know where he is. He's gone to his mother's in Telford, but we're not supposed to know that. That's the secret of that. But he's now moving. He's moving to his mother's in Telford.
Did he not raise much on his crowdfund for the?
I don't think he raised hardly anything.
No, he didn't. He got about £136, I think, but he was raising for 5,000.
Keep surfing them sofas, sunshine.
That's what it's known as, a surfer sofa.
Sofa surfer.
I find it absolutely I find it very distasteful that he went back with his wife during that period that he was in court. I find this really distasteful, seriously.
Mm.
He went back with his wife, and his wife supported him whilst he was in court, going into January, February, when I was there every day. And then, as soon as the court case was over, he left her again. And off he went. Put the house up for sale. Horrible person.
Sure, that was a coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, I said it on the day. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to work that one out, do you?
Well, okay. Topical one right now. Keep listening. I'll put this in the background. Is Farage going to get kicked out of the jungle?
No, I've voted 5 times today. Keep him in.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I voted Remain.
You vote?
I voted Remain.
That's the irony and all that.
Yeah, 5 votes for Nigel to Remain.
Well, I think he's going to break out, and he still gets his fee with no problem.
Yeah, but it's only 1.5 million. It's a pittance, isn't it? I mean, I think actually that Nelly the elephant, she's going to go first. She's out. She's gone.
She's packing a trunk.
She's back. Yeah. She's off to the circus. Yeah,
That's where she came from.
She's out of there. She'll be the first one to be evicted, and Nigel will remain.
Okay, well, it's looking. He's come across very, very well on the program. To be honest with you,
Well, I agree with what Mark said earlier on. Nelly the elephant was an absolute plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no doubt.
Definitely a plant for Farage.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
they
all-
do it every year. They all get a couple of people who clash,
Oh, yeah, of course they do, yeah. Now,
Historically
obviously, what they've done is, I said this to the daughter the other day, they've paid Farage $1.5 million, supposedly,
yeah.
and they spent about 37 quid on the rest of them, because I don't know any of them, never heard of them. I'm a celebrity, get me out of it. I've not got a clue who they are, any of them.
What? Not even Anton Deck.
He must be a French waiter.
I've heard of Anton Deck. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Trevor. I think it was a massive setup because we know the media are just lapdogs for the politicians, don't
Oh
we?
yeah, without a
So
shadow
they've
of a
tried to
doubt.
put him in there with one of the wokest people who's just going to accuse him of everything, and it's massively backfired, as it always does. So continue, you morons.
I've not watched that. I take it he's just blanking her.
I just
yeah.
watch clips of it on Twitter and stuff. But no, he's actually quite calm, isn't he, Trevor? And he's
Yeah, what's happening, Graham? He's actually trying to educate her. He's being very calm. And
He's got his work cut out.
he has, hasn't he?
She's just dead typically put in there. She's black lady. She's absolutely looking for the sympathy card. Ooh, why is he picking on me? Ooh, and all this lot. And Farage is just riding it.
Yeah.
He's just riding it.
He knows all he's got to do is just take it easy, relax.
For all we say about him, he's a very, very intelligent guy, I think. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Now, there's another one in there, some boxer from Liverpool.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, Tony somebody, I don't know.
Tony Bellew.
Tony Bellew. I follow boxing all my years.
Decent boxer, yeah.
All my years. Never heard of him.
Oh, he's a decent boxer, yeah.
He doesn't like snakes, though.
Hey, and he doesn't like Farage. He has not complimented Farage once. He's not patted his back, not shook his hand, nothing.
He won't.
No, because he's a scouser, isn't he? He's Labour. He's 100%.
He can't be seen to be doing it, Trev. That's the thing, because of his area.
I bet you off screen he's okay with him. Nice.
Suck me in, nice.
Nice. Everything's all right. Everything is rice and nice.
It's a bit worrying, this. He wants everybody to tuck him in, if you notice this.
That's right. Nice.
It's a common theme, isn't it, Steve? It's because I live on my own.
Okay, well.
Don't worry, Trev. Someone will be around after this to tuck you in. won't he, Steve?
No.
No, it's not that Tony Mello or whatever his name is. He's a big lad. I don't want him tucking me in.
Who?
No.
That Tony Mello or whatever his name is. That
Bellew.
Don't want him tucking me in. He might have rough hands. Him not like you, Steve. Oh, sorry.
He'd definitely put you to sleep quick enough, wouldn't he?
Here's something that's going to absolutely make your urine boil. Really boil. Now we're going to move on to something local. And cash-strapped Cheshire East Council is footing the bill for 500 unused mobile phones.
Yes, I saw this, and a classic example of utter incompetence and a waste of public money on an unprecedented scale.
You can't
Second
believe it,
only
can
to
you?
Warrington Borough Council, of course.
They're what?
They're still paying for 500 unused mobile phones.
Months after they've not been used.
Right? Councillor James Pearson, Conservative, also said the council had now put a phone amnesty box in a staff entrance at Westfield, as if the people are going to actually hand the phones back. Go ahead, Graham.
Are these people still using the phones to make phone calls?
That's the point.
Oh,
The Wrenbury Council brought up the matter during Thursday's meeting of the Corporate Policy Committee after council leader Sam Corcoran, Labour, there's the key word there, the leader is Labour, had asked for suggestions as to how the committee could achieve savings. A report to the meeting indicated the committee needs to make savings of 1.2 million and 100k of this is earmarked from ICT. Go ahead, Graham.
are they going to send these amnesty boxes round to other houses because they all work from home now?
Good point. So the council's been paying for 3,000 mobile phones, 500 of which haven't been used for some time, says Councillor Pearson. Also, the other message from the chief executive, don't use hotspots on mobile phones because the data is really expensive. Now, somebody in Scotland should know about that data being expensive.
10 grand's worth.
Yay! You know?
Can I just add this here? Because if it raises the question, this issue of people working from home for councils, as we were talking about earlier, if about 500 people have got a work phone and they've not used it for months and they're working from home, then what are they actually doing?
Gosh, shock, horror. Go ahead, Mark.
While we're on the subject of Cheshire East, I believe they're also facing a budget shortfall,
Yep.
aren't they? Yes.
They are indeed. They are indeed. Now,
Nearly 20 million.
following on from that.
1 second, Mr. Graham wants to come in from Scotland.
Okay,
there.
hey, go ahead, Scotland. Scotland the brave. Freedom.
Steve, I now know what your problem is here, mate.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. We should form a club. And you need to join pub.
And who said I haven't got any guts? Said Braveheart.
He does it deliberately so you lose track of what you were going to say. Anyway,
That's right.
Yeah, I remember when I was drawn and quartered, I said, nobody said I had any guts. Look at them.
Shut your face. Just let the man speak and just control yourself. Graham, go ahead.
there's 2 Scottish councils said they're going to go bankrupt very shortly on the news tonight. Now, what is this all about when local authorities are going bust?
Yeah, it's bad news. I mean, Trevor has offered to give them a few quid, especially tomorrow.
I think because Rusty Nail's gone and Kath Goff, now they've resigned, well, they've stood down from the next, they're not standing again at the next election. And we've had a couple of reports this week that have been just incredible about the losses in Warrington Borough Council. We're up to 60 million losses at the moment. I think, and I remember, I said about 4 or 5 podcasts ago, something big is coming along. And I believe in January, February, Warrington Council is going to issue the gone bust.
Yeah, it's got to. There's no
January,
way that they
February.
can sustain losses like that. No
And
way.
those 2, again, have walked away to Tenerife in the sunset. Off they've gone.
How do you know they've gone to Tenerife? Were you on the
don't
same
know.
plane?
I can't dissolve that.
You can't dissolve.
Dissolve it, no. Can't dissolve it.
You
I got you all thinking, innit? I can't divulge that. That's what I meant to say. I got you all
I
thinking.
can't dissolve. It's
Yeah,
an effervescent conversation. I can't dissolve.
They've set off into the sunset, walked away, no accountability. Absolutely terrible it is.
Well, hot on the heels of all that stuff, as Mark has just commented before, Cheshire East Council is to press ahead with plans to close its Westfields headquarters at Sandbach. The Corporate Policy Committee voted unanimously today, Thursday. Is every day Thursday? I don't know. It will be for certain councils, to close the Middlewich Road building to save money. You know, so they're actually going to close their HQ.
I used to drive past there on a regular basis in my old job, and there was never a great deal of anything going on in
Activity,
my view.
yeah.
It just looked an empty building to me.
They're facing an 18.7 million budget shortfall.
Oh,
I mean, that
chicken
is
feed.
absolute peanuts in comparison to Warrington. Say,
Chicken
Trevor.
feed. Chicken feed. And I've got a story about a chicken coming up. But anyway, now I just want to throw in here. I want to throw in here an absolute curveball. Anomaly. We've not mentioned it yet. Pontins.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, sad.
Pontins have just closed 2 camps, and I may, if I may.
one of them is Camber Sands, and that was a popular one with all the dance people.
Right. Well, I just want to point out something here that I spotted straight away.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, the two of the pontins that were closed is run by the Britannia Group.
Migrants!
The Britannia Group, who runs the Lord Daresbury Britannia
Migrants!
Britannia Hotels, and also it's called Migrant City, up right in Stockport. Not Stockport, sorry, Northern. When you come off the motorway, there's a massive hotel there, and they're all from the Britannia chain. And I never knew Britannia, actually, the Britannia Group owned all these pontins, etc., etc. So there's 1,500 in one of those. So that's what you're looking at, 3,000 in the 2 camps. And the government said, "Oh no, we don't know nothing about it."
Well, somebody's claiming that they've seen a report indicating a desire to build 12,500 properties on the Prestatyn site. I don't know whether that's correct at this point.
Ah, right. Well, I don't know. I only seen the Britannia Group, and I know for a fact they own all the hotels.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Do you know, if the migrants think that the army barracks were bad, wait till they go to Pontins. I know, I'm not even joking. I was looking at a holiday a couple of years back, and it was dead cheap, and I thought, why is that so cheap? Oh, I looked at all the reviews and all the photos. That place was falling to pieces. People were fuming because they took the kids there. Their place was a dive. It was horrible. So that'll get kicked into the long grass too, mate, because as soon as one of them walks through the door, they'll be like, we can't stay here. Never mind, no Wi-Fi.
Well,
no windows.
I heard that it was the only place, some of the comments that were made by the people, that you actually have to go into and clean first.
Yeah, the swimming pool was green and everything, mate. It was like, I'm not going there. I don't care how cheap it is.
Urine stains on all the mattresses and that.
That's it, exactly. You heard it. You
should have seen the bathrooms and the showers.
Yeah.
It was a safety hazard as well, the electricity. There was wires. Honestly, it was falling apart.
Well, I think it's a great place for the migrants to go.
Steve saying,
oh, yeah, me too.
Recognise what you're saying.
They can clean it. They can do something with it. They can clean it up.
No. They need to go back where they came from.
Well, no, they can clean it first. They can clean it first, then go back. How about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cutter.
Is the barge fully occupied yet? There's still only a couple of them on it. That's been out of the news for weeks.
Rwanda, the barge, it's all a load of...
Well, we've already offered. We're taking a quarter of the barge up for our group. Because we like the idea of it. It looks good. It sounds good. The food is absolutely brilliant. We're not worried about the Legionnaire's disease at all because we're used to that kind of crap in this country. So, we'll go with it. And we'll invite the whole of the Cheshire Matters team to go down and sample the barge.
I quite fancy that, actually. That sounds like a plan, Jonathan.
I would do that.
That's like a good holiday to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go out there. The Cheshire Matters team will also go down there and we will actually sit there and we will discuss things with the migrants.
In fact, I've worked out a way we could get free holidays all over the country. Actually, what we could do... We just
row out into the channel.
No, wait.
Send out a distress signal and get picked up by the RNLI.
Yes, well, you could, but we could do test reviews for all the migrant accommodations to see if it's suitable everywhere. And we could do this free of charge and do write-ups for the migrants to see how good it is. We could go all over the place. Yeah. Thousands of hotels free for us to test out.
We could be like that guy off the BBC, going and trying to, well, this place will be a great place for you to come. We can arrange this.
Here.
Park your dinghy here. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, it's all about the barge. I think that ship sailed, no pun intended. They'll be put on cruise ships next, watch.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I've just come off a cruise ship.
Oh, yes. How did you enjoy it?
Was it full of migrants?
Did you have your papers checked when you got off?
No. Honestly, you didn't. No matter.
How do we know who?
Hold on. Let the guy speak, Steve. Let the guy speak. Steve, let the guy speak. Steve.
Says you.
Let the guy speak. Go ahead, Stats.
Did you see any upside-down pineapples on doors, or did you have one on yours?
Go ahead, Cutter.
I'm not going to comment on that.
All right, you can Google it later when we finish, mate.
There was definitely no pineapple on my door.
Nah,
I did see a few
not a proper cruise then, mate, is it, Trev?
I don't know what that's about.
You do.
Farmers, put it that way.
Oh, I tell you. I can't remember the last time I went on a cruise.
And as I was cruising through the English Channel, I didn't see any dinghies, unfortunately.
You didn't see any dinghies?
No.
You should have taken your slingshot with you and say, hey, are you a migrant?
They are quite little. Maybe you didn't see them. Maybe just sailed over them.
Yeah.
But what happened on a cruise ship, see how you go for dinner. Dinner's a very formal thing. You sit down at a table and there's two other couples there. I met this couple from Cheshire sitting at my table.
Oh, really? Did they know Steve?
They didn't know Steve, unfortunately.
No, well, that's because nobody knows Steve in Cheshire.
No. I was sitting with a couple from Cheshire and a couple of Cockneys, and you know that way you pussyfoot round about conversations and you sort of ease on the subject about illegal migrants. And my God, it just shows you the whole country is absolutely
fed up.
up
Fed
to
up,
there.
up to there.
That's because absolutely the Cockneys and the people for Cheshire the same opinion as all of us about this. So the whole country. Do you know what
It's
I mean?
everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I would agree
Honestly,
with you. Gazelle, go on, have the last word on this.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one for Graham here. I mean, last time I went on a cruise, it was on a ship called Dignity.
You're cruising into the sunset, sir. Is that right?
On a ship called Dignity. Dun, dun, boom, boom.
All right. Okay. We get it. We get it.
Set it up, set it up, set it up, set it up again, set it up again.
We get it. Okay. Okay, Stevie, off to the bar. Get one for the cutter. And while you're there, get one for me, Mark, and Trevor.
Excuse
Get
me.
that digital
Every
wallet out. Come on.
single
Come on.
week-
Come on. Come on.
Every single week, it's Steve, go to the bar. Actually, no, get your own, because I'm tight this week.
This week.
Tell you what, that's not very Christmassy. Is
No,
it?
it's not, is it? He's,
you know,
he's
is it?
like a sort of a bar humbug type of guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, not really. No,
Yeah,
it's
you
just,
are.
I've got plenty of supplies of beer. Got some nice fine cognac. I've got about 6 or 7
Okay.
really nice bottles
Okay,
of
guys,
whiskey.
he's out to
I've got
work
some-
tomorrow morning about 5:30. Let's go in, get to his house.
And I've got some champagne. I've got some prosecco. I've got some nice brandy, some martini. I've got a right collection of beer. On the
Oh,
cabinet.
that'll do. That'll do. We'll come all the way for that. No problem.
I just before we go to the shout outs and shout downs, I've got a quick update on the Warrington bin bag situation.
Bin man. As you bin man.
You must be saving some money on not buying any bin bags. You don't need them.
No,
Really
because they're all
big.
wrapped around the Christmas tree in Warrington.
Yeah, it'll be full of rats and everything. And they're just the councillors. Right. So we've got the refuge workers was taken to the Supreme Court by Warrington this week, by the Warrington Council. This cost me another £10,000, no doubt, who basically kicked it out and said they're entitled to strike.
Keep on going, lads. Get yourself a massive bin rise. Do a great job. I'm with the bin men.
They've just announced the Crown Court, the Supreme Court, should say, sorry, said, well, carry on, you're entitled to it. So now they've got a blank check. And now they've announced that they're going to run it up to Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
What's are they after? What sort of mad percentage are they wanting?
No, the mad percentage, Graham, what's happened is they've been offered £1,900. Now, the average bin, the driver of the bin wagon is on £28,000 a year.
So the right wage?
Not bad, is it? And they've offered them £1,900 as a one-off payment, and they've accepted that, which is in December's payment, but they've turned around and said, well, we don't agree with the terms and conditions because we want our overalls washing.
So they're taking the money, but then going back out on strike again.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
taken
keep
the money.
going, lads. Keep going, lads. They're all trouble causes.
Yeah, shut up,
We've
you
got one
porridge
on here.
features. Go on, shut up.
They've taken. Could you mute him, please? Yeah, they've
Okay.
taken the money, and they want the terms and conditions. And they don't work on a Monday, by the way, because with the bank holidays falling on a Monday, it was messing up the rota system. So the council decided to give them a 4-day week.
Go on, Cutter.
They do know they get tax relief for cleaning their overalls and their uniforms, don't they?
Do
Yes,
they?
that's what it's about. And other
Yeah,
work
yes.
and other conditions.
Anyone that wears a uniform is due tax relief because it's classed as sort of, I don't know what it's classed as, but you get tax relief if you
Well,
clean
years
your-
ago, it used to be when the bin men used to walk down the your side path and they used to throw the black bin over there, the actual
You
literal...
can't call it a black bin.
Oh, sorry, the ethnic minority black bin. Sorry,
No,
not
you got to
the-
call it the bin that isn't white.
The bin of
like
colour.
the white bin then.
No, you can't say white bin.
and it's non-denominational as well.
And there's no such thing as a blackboard.
All right, well, basically the stuff you carry your shit in, right?
That's the one. That's the one.
So that's the one, and we take it over, and then they spill a load of shit on their overalls. And they
That's
get
the
it
one.
clean. Well, they don't do it anymore because you don't need, you've got to take it to the front of your garden, and they pull it along and press a button, and that's it. So how they
Well, it
get the
can't be
overalls-
just that's it because there are certain things that have to be done.
Oh yeah, they might have to look inside it to see if there's any dead bodies. I forgot about that bit.
That's very big. That's very big in the waste industry. Always look at your bin in case there's a homeless person sleeping on it.
That's right.
It's massive. It's absolutely massive, by the way.
I think they deserve the money then. I shouldn't really be saying, like I said last week, get back to work, you lazy bone-addled bunch of scumbags.
And that's only to the guy in the bin, the homeless person.
Excuse me, I'm not having this said about the bin men. I'm with the bin men on this.
Oh, of course you were. Go on, porridge
lads.
features. Go on. Get off.
Muted.
Keep going, lads.
Right, over to stats. sorry.
Stats. Go on, stats.
I'm just wondering how long it'll be until the bin men work from home. How many
men work from home?
I just want to ask Trevor how the rat situation is. Is it bad?
Well, it's full of them. We want to see what it's about a council. Can't get in there for rats.
I think the moral of the story is vote Labour, get vermin.
Yeah, vote Labour, get
double
vermin.
meaning there.
Exactly. And with everything else that comes with it, tuberculosis and all the other stuff that they
And what's
spread.
the other saying, Trevor? Vote reform, get common sense. Is that right?
I wasn't going to promote Reform UK tonight, but
I thought I'd give you an in there. Go ahead.
But why you've put me on there? I mean, this wouldn't happen if Reform UK was running in Warrington Borough Council. We'd have them back to work now with good negotiations. They'd have received a rise that they're happy with, and everybody would be happy, and we'd be getting our bins emptied because that is Reform UK. And you've got to vote Reform UK for Warrington North to get rid of this Labour atrocious pig with lipstick. Sorry, didn't mean to say that, but I did.
Well, I tell you what, we should start a new party. We should introduce.
He just said we
things.
should start a new party. I've been saying that for...
Shut up.
Well, how long have I been saying that for? Oh, my word.
There you go. He's
Nobody
out.
listens to you.
No, you should have got round to doing it then, mate.
Yeah, you should have got around to doing it.
And there he's been saying forever, oh, no, you don't want to do that. We don't want to be doing that. It just won't make any difference. Oh,
Do you know what, Steve? You're so childish. Nah. Right.
Hard work.
Start a new party. Forgive everybody in this country of all their loans. Start again. Get rid of, strip all the corporates of their power, and actually get all the bills down so that people can actually live. Because the biggest thing that I've seen is nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about anything. Nobody's happy about living here. You know, even the migrants are complaining about the Wi-Fi. You know, when you get to that state, you know that things are bad. You know? But if we were to actually come up with a government that treated its people nicely and actually rewarded people for the work that they do in every part of life.
Yeah, Reform UK, yeah.
You know, if we rewarded people for everything that they do, I tell you, I know. Well, come on. Shout outs, shout downs. Let's get it over and let's get on with the goodbyes for everybody. Go on. Shout outs, shout downs. Go ahead, Stats. You first.
Go on, I'll go first. I need to go for the tinkle. Right, I've got to do a quick shout down to civil servants who've clearly got no idea what's going on with regards to who's coming in the country and who's being kicked out the country. Absolute joke. And then my second shout down might be controversial, but it's the Father Christmas.
Oh,
what?
Yeah. Well,
Mr. Coca-Cola? That's disgusting.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
afraid Santa parked outside my window with a sound system that's louder than Creamfields, and I was trying to have a little kip because I had a headache, so he's not flavour of the month with me. So he better bring me a decent present to make up for it.
What, like socks?
Oh, he won't
or
bring you a decent
aftershave or-
present by knocking him like that. That's not very, you know.
Well, turn your music down then, Santa.
Oh, he's having a good
We won't
time.
have a problem, will we?
It's his one time of the year. He's out having
It's
a
not
blast
one
with you.
time. He's been round every flipping other day, mate.
Oh,
You should
well,
be out
look at
there
it, he's got
outside
a
the window
bucket.
saying, "Hey, Fatso, turn it down."
He's even got a bucket now. He collects money and everything. It's like,
Yeah,
what? He's
cheeky
cashing
guy.
in.
The elves have got enough money. Go ahead.
I never knew Santa Claus was Catholic.
Probably works for
What
the
do you
council.
mean, Catholic?
The tax.
Well, he collects money. He's got a bucket for all the money.
All right, okay. Stevie, come on, shout out, shout down.
Yes, well, I've got a shout down and a shout out. My shout down.
Oh, wait a minute.
is-
Don't start taking advantage. Go ahead.
Yeah, you
Oh,
had
shit.
one during the podcast.
Yeah.
Can I have another one?
That was just a bit of a chit chat. Now, my shout down is to Christmas shopping because
Oh, yeah.
it's that time of year when undoubtedly, when you are Christmas shopping, you bump into all of those people that you've managed to avoid for the entire rest of the year.
No, they've
And
managed
then,
to
yeah.
avoid you. Yeah, go on.
And my shout out is to all those men who are now on the brave run around the lingerie departments for Christmas time, having to suffer this embarrassment and trying to maintain anonymity.
We always knew you were a tranny.
Steve.
I was just going to say that.
The Raven, the Viking, is a closet tranny because he's going round the lingerie departments.
Just admitted it.
Well, we see you in RuPaul's Drag Race soon, Steve.
Go ahead, Trevor. Have you got any shout-outs, shout-downs, or have you done it?
Well, no, I've got a shout out to this chicken this week.
Chicken. Oh.
No, it's a chicken. I was out in the sticks the other day at High Whitley doing a job, and it's one of these barn conversions. You know the old farms that they say it's a barn conversion. So anyway, I thought, well, there it is. It's opposite the pond in High Whitley. So I went up this road, this dirt track to get round the back, and this chicken comes out, and it was the size of it, like a wolf, that big, and it won't move.
Chicken looked like a wolf.
Chicken, it was the size of a wolf. And it stood in the middle of the road, right? And I went, "Rrr, rrr." You know, it was like one of them stop oil protesters, right? And it stood there, and I was going, "Rrr, rrr," with a cat, and it was looking at me, and it went, "Rrr." And then it just walked across, and I went, "I'll go past it," and it went, "Whoa, come back again." So, hey, and I had to back all the way down this dirt track, honestly, for this chicken. Come on, I parked at the front. And I went to this house and said to this woman, there's a chicken round there, won't let me round the back. She went, oh, she don't like cars. Said, she don't like cars. Well, that must be the Kentucky Fried Syndrome. You know, the drive-through. And the patch said, yeah, she won't let you through. So I had to park at the front. So this is a shout-out for this chicken that stopped a Fiat Dublo in tracks. So that's all I want to just say tonight. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Well, I don't know. Let me out.
To get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
Oh, let's go across to the cutter for his shout out, shout down, whatever you want. Go on, sir.
Could I just give a shout out to my two new friends I met on the cruise ship from Cheshire? Don't ask me where they came from in Cheshire.
Problem.
They told me I was so drunk at the time, I can't remember. But very nice people. Ken V, you know who I'm talking about. And a massive shout down to the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. I am heartily sick at every time they do a piece on what's happening in Israel just now. They say about Hamas, prescribed as a terrorist organisation by the UK government and others. Come on, let's call a spade here. They're terrorists. All right?
Yeah.
End of story.
End of story.
Terrorists.
Yeah.
Scumbags.
We'll go with that. And my shout out is to the chicken. That stood its ground against the Gazelle.
Was he a Labour chicken?
It was a Labour chicken. It was a stop oil protesting chicken.
Was it an AI chicken?
An AI chicken, no. Yeah. My shout out goes to that chicken. And thank God this is all over. Right, okay. I want everybody to say goodnight. Well, this has been quite a humorous take on quite a few things. I don't know what people are going to make of it, but really, I don't care because, as I say, people are going to listen to it anyway. But, there you go. Right. Okay, Statsman, say goodnight, sir.
I'll say farewell to our lovely listeners and the cutter. Thanks for coming on. And, of course, you three.
Indeed. Okay, Raven, make it short.
What? Make what short?
Make something short. Okay?
That'll do.
Every time you look down. When was the last time you looked down?
Hey? Well, I'm just going to say, first of all, goodbye to everybody, and especially our guest, Graham, tonight. And goodbye to all our listeners. Hope you're getting ready for Christmas. I'm going to give a shout-out as well to Jesus, who never gets a mention and gets forgotten about at this time of year. ironically, in our wonderfully cultural devoid country that we now live in. And I'd just like to say it's been yet another amazing strain of a podcast, really, to be honest. And it's clearly evident that our 10 minutes preparation was evident throughout tonight. So there we go.
Okay, yeah, glad you've gone. Trevor, say goodnight. And to our man, our correspondent in Scotland, say goodnight, sir, to the gutter.
Good night, guys. It's always an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we're back on soon. Have a good Christmas and New Year, guys.
Without a doubt.
Hopefully I'll see you all soon in the new year.
Indeed.
Good grief, Graham. I can't believe you described this as a pleasure. I could describe it as torturous.
Sure, innit?
Torturous.
I consider it torture with you.
I'm not working tomorrow, so I've been able to have a few beers today. It's even funnier with a few beers than you. So.
Yes, you needed to get over them.
I can't get over the chicken. The chicken that held the gazelle up. Gosh.